Hello, hello, hello. So, welcome to Summer Avalon Healing Arts and our Thursday night mini healings. It is going to be a great night. So, I've got a few things going on and fun things to talk about, but mainly I hope we get lots of healing done tonight. And I hope everybody leaves feeling good. So, it is a little chilly here today after being 95, 90, humid over the weekend. So I am wearing a sweater and I really sort of like it. So I am in my little office. The dogs are in the house. Yes. So no interruptions, although I did not kennel them. And I'm hoping that was an okay decision. We will see how that goes, though. So if you are here and want to say hello, feel free. So yeah, very exciting. So there's a couple things we're going to chat about. Oh, and if you don't have a lot of patience for chit chat before things get started, about 10 after, we will be doing the healing pulses. But until then, we'll be saying hello and just chatting about things I've got planned for the evening. So let me grab. So this is something we're going to chat about this week or tonight. This is called the Roby chart, and it says where beliefs affect your anatomy. And it's arranged by chakra. Ooh, bad reflection. Almost as bad as the reflection from my glasses. So with this, it lists all the chakras and it lists what each one connects with. Like your first chakra connects with tribal power, safety, security. And then second chakra, power of relationships, sexuality, creativity. Third chakra, personal power, self-esteem, and trust. Fourth chakra, power of love and emotion. Fifth chakra, power of will, decision-making. Sixth chakra, power of the mind, adequacy, truth. Seventh chakra is spiritual connection and oneness. So very interesting. And with this, say you've got issues with your spleen on the little chart. So it's yellow. So it's in the third chakra, which is the solar plexus chakra. And it has to do with obsession. So if you have an issue with your kidneys, holding old emotions and shame. And so they say oftentimes that's the basis for disease or other types of things. So very exciting to see that. Trying to see. So we will get started at 10 after the hour, and we will start with a healing pulse. And then we will be taking individual healing requests. Yeah, so it should be a very exciting night. Trying to see. I'm working in my office. I'm adding a few more little things. So seeing how things look on camera. Got a few things. Adding a few crystals. Oh, Tuesday. So I live about a mile from Lake Superior. And so Tuesday, a friend and I went out for lunch up the shore. And there are actually a couple rock shops up the shore. And the one we like the best is really touristy. Everything's really expensive, but they have unusual things and beautiful crystals. So I did not spend a lot because I have enough already, but I bought a few pretty cool things. So I got a couple different tiger's eye. So I've got some gold ones, and then I bought one red one. So I know what the gold ones do, but I need to find what the red ones do. Hi, Marina. Welcome, welcome. And then I bought some shungite. So it's sort of black onyx type. You take the price tag off. They had ones that were really big. I didn't need something really big someday. But this one, that's pretty cool. This one actually is from Russia. Well, at least you're working. There's some people that aren't working, like me. I'm glad you're able to half listen. Yes. So I hope everybody's having a good night. I've been emptying out boxes because I moved and then I closed my office space that I had rented about the same time. And so I still have some boxes I have not unpacked. And I finally found 2 things I've been looking for. Hey, Pam. And so one of the things I was just chatting about is this. This is sort of my chakra chart. So typically I use this more if someone comes into the office because it's such a really nice visual thing, but it's where beliefs affect your anatomy. So like if you are having problems with your appendix, it says appendix is related to fear of life. Oh, and there's Jane. Welcome, Jane. So we might play around with this. You might have to tell me area, and then I'll tell you what belief is tied to it. And then we'll see if you have issues with those beliefs or issues with that particular area. So it's got a few organs, but then it also has like skin and hands, fingers, head. So it's definitely sort of a cool thing. It's called the Roby chart. If I can get it without too much reflection. That's pretty terrible as far as the reflection goes, isn't it? But it is a fabulous tool. So I've got that. And we're going to do Healing Pulse in a couple minutes. Oh, and then, so I've been looking, I've got a few crystal books, but I've got too many books in boxes. But I found this is one of my favorite crystal books, just mainly because the pictures are so pretty. Although I've got some malachite, and mine looks much different than that. So with this Jane, it doesn't have like vertigo. It has like organs and body parts. So I don't know if there's like an ear or so where does vertigo happen? Is that like inner ear? Because the only thing it has on ear is capacity to hear. And I'm not sure if that's quite right. So we will see. Let's see. Neck is flexibility. Yes, malachite is green, and this picture was green, but it was more of like a blue green. The one I have is a very deep green and dark. This, on the screen, it looks more gray, but it's definitely sort of a medium gray or medium green. But mine isn't rounded like that. So anyway, so I got that. Lots of fun stuff. So something to work on, Jane. Well, it is 10 after already. Where did I put my book for you guys? Okay. I have it. Okay. So we are going to start with the healing pulse. And so I want you to think about where you want to receive the energy. If you are new, think about if you have any pain or discomfort. That's the easiest place to send. Joanne, you're sort of a mess. I'm so sorry. So Joanne's going to send to her right ankle. So that's a really good example. Now, if you've got some emotional things going on, I would suggest you think about where you feel the emotion. So like if you've got some anxiety, think about where that anxiety lives within you. And so that's where you're going to want to send the energy. For instance, say you feel anxiety. Like for me, I feel it in the pit of my stomach. It makes me sort of nauseous. And so that's where I would typically be sending that energy if I feel anxious. So I want you to start by rubbing your hands together. And then I want you to place your hands where you want to receive the energy. And then I just want you to breathe it in. And so most importantly, I want you to be open and allowing. Oh, there's Anne-Marie. Just in time, Anne-Marie, we're doing a healing pulse. So breathe it in, open and allowing the healing to happen. Breathe it in. Okay, so that was our first healing pulse of the evening. Let me know how everyone did. And I am going to start writing down any healing requests. Can't believe it's June 10th already. Oh, and there's Lisa. Welcome, Lisa. I'm just going to checking out my list, making sure I've got everything. So I got my trauma list, my emotion code list, discordant energy, a few things. Yes. So, Joanne, we're going to work on that twisted right ankle. Anybody else? Jane? Oh, that's right. You told me that, Jane. I'm sorry. I better scroll up and see if there's more that I missed. All right, so Pam, we're going to put working on your finger. Lisa, family. Anne-Marie, brain fog, and lethargy. Marina, I would feel pleasure, joy. Pam, that was your metacarpal. Okay. All right, so Joanne, you're first. So I'm going to see what tool we're going to use to help. And we're going to work on the trauma list. So let's see, this and the discordant energy list I have are new, so I haven't done that much work with them. So let's see. Self-recrimination. Let me get an age on that. All right, Pam, I'll add that to yours. I probably should add myself to that too. Things aren't as fun as they used to be, you know? I don't know if I just wasn't enough of an adult and I was not serious enough, but lately I think I'm too serious. So, oh, I hope that helps, Jane. All right, so let me get an age for Joanne. Around age 27, Joanne. So, and I think I know what self-recrimination means. And I do question why they would use that particular word. I would use something different if my understanding of the word is the same. So I'm just seeing if I'm right. Usually my vocabulary is pretty good. So it's the act of accusing or blaming oneself. I think the other tools I use often call it self-abuse. So, Joanne, does that sound like you? Around 27, so plus or minus a year. So you're 26, 27, 28, somewhere in there. So I'm going to go ahead and release that and then fill the voids with healing. All right. Yes, they are, Pam, but they are so much work sometimes. And between them and the cat, they get me up really early in the morning. And then they're naughty sometimes. They make a mess, but they're definitely cute. Okay, so Joanne, I did get that to leave. All right, Jane, you're next. Let's see. Jane, are you aware? Did something trigger the vertigo, or is it just something that has... I know you said you had it before, but has it typically come and gone? So we're going to use this discordant energy chart. Let's see what comes up with that. Hostility. I'll get an age on that, but right before the vertigo, was there any hostility around you, Jane? Totally understandable. All right, so around age 29, hostility. So 28, 29, 30, someone there. So let me go ahead and release that. Okay. And the voids have been filled. Let me know if that resonates with you. All right, so Pam, you are next. Let's see what we're going to work on. So we're going to work on pleasure and joy. And let's see what tool I'm going to use. We're going to use the trauma list. Interesting. Self-recrimination again. So initially it was for Joanne, and now that is for Pam. So let me get an age for you on that, Pam. We're on age 39. So being that we're a group, and oftentimes when one person has something related to an issue, other people do too. So I'm going to check and see, does Marina have self-recrimination causing her lack of pleasure and joy? No. Okay. Just checking, because sometimes you guys surprise me and have very many similarities. So let me release and remove self-recrimination. Oh, I knew that was a tough time for you. I didn't realize there was hostility too. But I guess that totally makes sense. Yes, Jane, it's the hostility has been released. All right, so let's see. Did Pam's self-recrimination release? Yes. Okay, Lisa is next, and we're going to work on family. Let's see what comes up with that. And we're going to work on my emotion, sensation, and behavior list. And I'm getting the emotion of mistrust, Lisa. Let me get an age on that, because if we can release this as a layer, it will reduce your suspiciousness and mistrust. Because sometimes when you have a lot of trapped emotions based on, say, mistrust, it isn't reasonable. So let me just get an age. Around age 38. Lisa, I don't know if that rings a bell. So plus or minus a year, so 37, 38, 39. So let me release that. Okay, so that's been released. Anne Marie, you are next. Let's see which one we're working on. And so Pam, you had asked about self-recrimination. It's sort of like self-abuse. So if something happens and it doesn't go well, you blame yourself. Like having a conversation with yourself. Oh, that was so dumb. Why did I do that? Why did I do it differently? Do you verbally beat yourself up for something that has happened? Good. So that reduces the layer at least one, Lisa. All right. So Anne Marie, we're going to work on the lethargy. And let's see what tool we're going to use. We're going to use the trauma list. So this week I did some shopping and I bought self-glare glasses. So maybe next week you'll be able to see my eyes instead of my laptop screen reflected. You are very welcome, Pam. So some of the words that they use here. So I'm getting distraught. And so my imagination of distraught is that it's like being highly upset. Let's see what a computer says. Here we go. Agitated with doubt or mental conflict or pain. Let's use it in a sentence. Oh, here's some synonyms. Agitated, delirious, distracted, distrait, frantic, frenzied, hysterical. Well, that's pretty much highly upset. So here is it used in a sentence. Of particular concern are phony contractors who knock on the doors of distraught homeowners and offer to repair damaged roofs. Okay. Sometimes I just don't quite understand why they use these particular words. So let me get an age for you, Anne Marie. Around age 36. I don't know if that rings a bell, but let's go ahead and release that. Okay, so that's been released and the void has been filled. So Marina, you are next. And let's see what tool we're going to use. And then after Marina, we'll do another healing pulse. And we're using the trauma list again. That seems to be the list of the night for most of you. Panic. Let me get an age on that, Marina. Around age 18. So 17, 18, 19. You'll have to think, is there an event or something that caused that? So that's taken away from your being able to enjoy pleasure and joy. Okay, I'm getting that did release and the voids have been filled. So it is time for another healing pulse. And so last time you just did wherever you wanted, wherever you have discomfort, wherever you feel an emotion. So think about, do you want to send it to the same place? Do you want to send it somewhere new? Or maybe you're not really sure where to send it. And so if you don't really have anywhere to send it, possibly send to your heart or your head. And Marie, have you tried this on your head? So I think especially for you, we're going to do the brain balancing tonight because I think that will help you. And so if anyone else has any special requests for things like the brain balancing, we will do that. That was pretty close to 18. Do you think that did something trigger that is added to that, Marina? I did get it to release, so that's the good thing. All right, so is everyone ready? So I want you to rub your hands together till they're warm. And then place your hands where you want to receive the energy. You're very welcome, Anne-Marie. And once your hands are placed, imagine my hands are on top of your hands. And so I want you to just breathe in the energy, and we'll do some guided breath work with this. So I want you to breathe in the energy and hold it. And then when you can't hold it any longer, breathe it out. On that out breath, imagine that you are releasing everything that doesn't serve your highest good. And then at the end of the out breath, hold it. And so you're going to breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. And so just imagine the energy flowing and going exactly to where it needs to go, and be open and allowing the healing to happen. Okay, so that was the healing pulse number 2 of the night. So I've done everybody on the list once. So I can go back around again, but I'm wondering if we should just go through this a little bit, just because it's interesting. So for those of you who weren't here when I first started chatting about this, is called the Roby chart, and it's where beliefs affect your anatomy. And so if you have an issue like with your nose, it has a link, or it lists what belief is affecting your nose. And so that's self-recognition and self-worth. So I'm wondering if I should just go through and say all the different things that it has, and then you could let me know if you want to know what it says. So we're going to start with the right side, and this is considered your masculine side. And so the right side, there's head, eyes, pituitary, nose, mouth, teeth, throat, breasts, heart, diaphragm, liver, kidneys, gallbladder, small intestines, appendix, genitals, rectum, knees, shins, ankles, and feet. So let me know if there's any of those that you want to know what belief is connected to those. So on the left side, the left side is feminine. And so the left side has to do with receiving and trust. And the right side has to do with doing and belief. So left side has brain, pineal gland, ears, neck, thyroid, shoulders, thymus, lungs, arms, spleen, pancreas, stomach, large intestine, hips, bladder, hands, fingers, whole body systems and organs, muscular system, skeletal system, and skin. There is no spine on here. Yeah, it doesn't really list like bones, although shins, so some of the things that it lists are, it's not comprehensive. And so the skeletal system is structure and support of life. That's sort of interesting. Okay, so Pam, the toes. So I don't have toes, but I've got feet. So feet is understanding of self, life, and others. So the skeletal system and the feet are both first chakra, which deals with tribal power, safety, security. Jane wanted the muscular system, resistance to new experiences. And Anne-Marie had ankles and brain. Let's see. Ankles was inflexibility in dealing with life / an issue. And that's first chakra. And brain has to do with overthinking and stubbornness. So sort of interesting though, isn't it? I know I haven't had this for like 2 years. It's been in the bottom of a box. and it was flat, so I didn't realize it was there because there was stuff on top of it. But this was one of the things that people who came to me in my office enjoyed, just because it's interesting just seeing it. So and having all the different organs and body parts color coded and what chakra they are. So yeah, so that is the Roby chart. All right, so I'm gonna go. Ooh, Joanne, got a couple more. All right, so ankles, inflexibility in dealing with life / an issue. Let's see. Diaphragm, feeling unprotected. And let's see, I'm not sure if esophagus. Nope, there isn't an esophagus listed. Yeah, so some of the things seem comprehensive, and then you look for something else and it's not there. So quite interesting. Oh, brain. So brain is overthinking and stubbornness. That's interesting too. So that's the brain. Now the head is resisting flow of life, sexual fears, overthinking, refusing responsibility for self. And so the brain is female, the head is male. All right, I think I got everything. You most definitely have been experiencing lots of new things, Jane. So Jane, did you go shopping this weekend? So I think last Thursday you had talked about purchases. All right, so we're going to go back through unless anyone else has any questions. Oh, the pineal. Oops, as I drop all of my papers. Pineal gland is sense of purpose and meaning of life. So that one sort of makes sense, especially it's that connection. So, and I have to get up because my papers fell on the other side of the desk. Okay. So, yeah, I'm just thrilled I found this because I'm like, where is it? So, since I closed up my office and moved, I've got 2 books that I used to use pretty regular. And they're in a box somewhere, but they're probably in the bottom of a box. So I think we'll do this next time. This is sort of similar to like what the Roby chart does. So this is the secret language of your body. And so with this, it tells you certain, issues and energetically why you've got issues. So maybe next time we'll do this instead of, sort of like what we did with the Roby chart. All right, so Joanne, we're going to see if there's more that we can do. So is school done for you now, Jane, or is it almost done? So the pineal gland is where your intuition supposedly lives. Lots of interesting things and things to learn. Okay, now I dropped my pen. I'm not doing so good today. It's good I'm not drinking out of a glass. Okay. Oh, what a relief, Jane. You've definitely had quite the year. All right, so Joanne, there's more that we can do about your ankle. So let's see if we can get that to feel better. All right. I'm going to use my emotion, sensations, and behaviors chart. Sabotage, Joanne. So, and what this sort of means when it's in regards to your ankle is sometimes when you would have fallen and maybe you turned your ankle, but you didn't twist it that it would create an an injury. And so sometimes there's a weakness there that causes more damage than you would expect. Or if you had twisted your left foot, maybe you wouldn't have noticed it at all. So sometimes certain things have occurred that make that body part more susceptible to injury or trauma. And so with your twisted right ankle, sabotage might be part of that. Let me get an age on that, Joanne, and see if you can connect the dots. Although, as I've said before, sometimes things link obviously, and sometimes they don't link at all. So let me just see what we've got. Around age 37, sabotage. And so sabotage, typically it's someone else, because otherwise it would say self-sabotage. So then you ask, is this, usually I ask if it's male or female, and I'm getting female. And then I typically ask, is it family? Is it a friend? Is it a coworker? About that, Joanne, and see if that rings a bell. But in the meantime, I'm going to clear sabotage because it definitely played a role in how serious your ankle twist was. Okay, I did get that to release, and the void has been filled. We're going to Jane and her vertigo. See if there's anything else. And there is, so let me see what tool we're going to use. Mischievousness. Let me get an age on that. Around age 33, Jane, does that ring a bell? And so I don't know you very well, but I have a hard time imagining you being mischievous. So I'm wondering if it's someone else. Yeah, I'm getting it with someone else. So you'll have to let us know if that triggers a memory for you. But I'm going to go ahead and release that because that's played a role in your vertigo. Another layer towards it. Okay, and the void has been filled. All right, so Pam, you are next. So we'll see what we're going to do with you. And we're going to continue to work on the lack of pleasure and joy. I love it when you think, Jane, because sometimes the memories that you have are so specific and right on. It's very interesting. Oh. That would tend to sabotage your life, wouldn't it? So it's good that that is gone. All right, so Pam, let's see what tool we're going to use for you. Lack of boundaries. Let me get an age on that. Around age 39, so plus or minus a year. So 38, 39, 40, somewhere in there, Pam. What was the age before? The other one was age 39 also. Or no, the other one was, yeah, it was 39. So I'm going to just ask, was it around the same scenario? And I get no. So this is like a different event. So let me release lack of boundaries for you. Okay, that did release. Lisa, you are next. We've got family. Wow, that's interesting, Anne-Marie. Okay, so let's see. So Lisa, I'm getting shame. Let me get an age on that. Around age 28. So 27, 28, 29, somewhere in there. So let me release that. Okay, that did release. And the void has been filled. All right, Anne-Marie, you are next. We're going to stick with the lethargy, Anne-Marie, just because I think we'll have you do the brain balancing for the brain fog. You're welcome, Lisa. Shame and a connection to lethargy, Anne-Marie. Let me get an age on that. Around age 18, so plus or minus a year. So 17, 18, 19, somewhere in there. So let me go ahead and release that because shame is one of those things, and I know I've said this a few times, that it brings everything else around down to that level. It's a really tough trapped emotion. Okay, that released and the void has been filled. Marina, you are next. And then Lynn, pleasure, joy. We'll use the trauma chart. Hold on, I'm having some trouble muscle testing, so it'll be just a moment. Let me try this again. Panic. You got that last time too. Let me get an age on this because generally it's not the same event. It's a different one. Around age 20, so plus or minus a year. And so panic within a couple years makes you feel really sensitive to that panic, Marina. And so I'm hoping, especially releasing 2 instances of it, it makes a difference and it feels less, what's the word? Less anxious, less apprehensive. Well, hopefully you won't get triggered as much, Marina, with removing both of these. Wow, Joanne, that's a good connection to be aware of. Okay. So for those of you in my abundance group, so we had a really good first week. I decided that we needed to do some extra work because there are a couple things that I felt were holding people back, and one is willingness to change, and the other is open to healing. And so I've spent some extra time working on that today. So in the private group, there is, oh, yes, Joan. Yay. So Joan, think about if there's something you want to work on, we'll add you in just because it's a little early. So with the abundance group, so I did another video today and I adjusted your scores for those 2 items, and all of you are going up. There's a couple of you that didn't go up after Sunday night. So my goal is to get everybody on the path of movement. So including myself, because I had some low scores too. So, and some of the people were doing just them and others were doing them and their business or career. And that's at the same cost. So if there's anybody that would like to join us, we're just less than a weekend. And so you could easily join us. It's $25 per month. And it's 2 months. Next month, we're going to do more advanced things. Or, well, and I might start up a group again and do the same. So there's sort of entry level, and then there is the advanced where we're going to deal with statements and create some affirmations and again still work on removing blocks and increasing people's connection to abundance. All right, Joan. Love and trust in the universe. That's a hard one. All right, so let's see. Well, Marina, I'm hoping that makes a difference. But be aware. You're very welcome, Pam. All right, so Joan, love, trust in. The problem with this one, Joan, is it's easy to say, hard to do. All right, so let's see if we can find something that has reduced your love and trust in the universe. Okay, and we're going to use my discordant energy chart. Panic. I think panic's the word of the night. Let me get an age for that, Joan. And this is a different chart than the one I used with the other two instances of panic. So let's see what age I get. Around age 17, Joan. So it could have been 16, 17, 18. So let's go ahead and release and remove that. Okay, that did release and remove. And the voids have been filled. So I think tonight we're going to do the brain balancing. We're going to do, we've been doing the aura protection every week. Do you people feel like you have a handle on that, or should we do that one again too? And then we'll do the healing pulse in a baggie. So let's start with the brain balancing. You are very welcome, Joan. Wow, Jane. That's good that you can see that connection. Okay. So with the brain balancing, have we done brain balancing where you guys used your own energy, or has it always been the healing pulse? Very understandable, Anne-Marie. So we just need to keep chipping away at it, and hopefully at some point just eliminate it altogether. It's good you were there, Jane. All right. So, okay. All right, so I'm going to let you guys have a choice if you want to practice using your own energy for the brain balancing, or if you want to pull in the healing pulse. So let's go ahead and we'll just get started. So you want to rub your hands together, start the energy flowing, and then place your fingers about an inch above your ear, touching your scalp. And so this is going to intersect that pineal gland. And then pick what side you're going to start on. And then if you're using your own energy, you can just go ahead and start gathering the energy in that one hand. And if you're using the healing pulse energy, just request the energy, bring it in. And then when that hand feels full, imagine that energy starting to travel to your other hand. And then once it reaches that other hand, then you want to gather that energy there. And when you feel that hand is full of the energy, send it back. So I think the more you do this, the stronger you'll get with it, whether it's using your own or the combination. So once you go back and forth a couple times, then you can start going pretty fast because you've determined the path. And so here's something for you to try, Anne-Marie. What if you did this every morning when you got up? Okay. So that was brain balancing. It was more of a self-run brain balancing. How'd everybody do? And did you just use your own energy, or did you mix them? Pretty exciting. I think if there's anything else. All right. So, what did you guys think about, sometimes we need an extra boost, but it's good to know that you can do it on your own too. So, whatever you need. Good, Joanne. I don't see anything wrong with that, Pam. If your eyes go from side to side, you're following the energy, right? That's good, Lisa. You'll sleep really good tonight. Very good, everybody. I'm very proud of you. Okay, so let's do. Did anyone want the aura protection? Are you guys doing that pretty regular? Because I do think that will help you. Yes, I think teeth was there. So let me look and see. Teeth is decisiveness, Marina. So do you have trouble with decisiveness? Okay, let's do the aura protection. So again, you can, if you want to decide if you're going to use your energy or if you're going to use the healing pulse, that is great. I just want you to get used to using your own energy when you need it. Something more we can work on, I guess, right? Okay. All right, so let's do the aura protection. Let me write on my list because I like to keep track. All right, so the wonderful thing about strengthening your aura is it helps repel negativity. And as you know, the world is full of negativity right now, especially. So rub your hands together. And then if you're using the healing pulse too, call that in, and I'm sending it now. If you're using your own energy, just go ahead and start beaming the energy into your aura. And some people do it this way, like your aura is outside, and some people do it this way. So it's sort of interesting. Is it in here or is it out there? So, but either way is right. And so just breathe it in and breathe it out. And just imagine your hands pulsing that energy out to the aura. And just imagine getting stronger. Okay, so that was our aura protection for tonight. We haven't done shielding in a while. Does anybody feel the need for me to walk through shielding? So I'm thinking, I just found my book in that box. Well, actually, I've had it. I found it a while ago, but it's got my favorite shielding technique, which is the umbrella shielding. Do you remember when we went over that? I think probably last fall. Just Just looking to see what people are saying. I'm looking at the feed. Pretty much everybody's on Facebook. Even Joan. I thought Joan would be on YouTube. Good, Pam. I'm glad it was good. Nice, Anne-Marie. So use that energy, especially when you're not feeling great. I will have to send you a link, Joan, because I know you're not a Facebook fan. But the nice thing is when you're in Facebook and everybody else is in Facebook, you can see the comments. Because if you're the only one on YouTube, you can't see others' comments. That's like the good and the bad of this service. Okay, so I don't know if people's yeses were for the shielding or if they were for my other questions. I'm sorry. I need to be more specific. Oh, she's still there, Jade. She just doesn't like it. And I totally get that. Okay. Thank you for that. So let me grab my book. So this is one of my favorite healing books for those of you who have not been on when we've done this. So this is written by a guy from Australia, Ken Graydon. It's called Healing, the Handbook. And with this, I mean, shielding techniques are all pretty similar, but this one has a twist that I really like. And so we are going to do the umbrella of protection. And so it's got a few things I'm going to read to you, but it's sort of a cool thing. So the umbrella works as a protection from things outside of you. However, you might choose to visualize it as keeping some things inside and helping them build up. So for instance, suppose you're walking through the streets at night in a strange place. You might deploy the umbrella with two intentions. First is that you would be invisible to anyone who may wish you harm. And second, inside the umbrella, that feeling of peace that will grow inside of you. So not only are you not afraid, but you are more at peace as time goes on because you're invisible. And you've instilled that sense of peace in your umbrella. So it says the umbrella process serves us in a similar way to Harry Potter's cloak of invisibility. The items that we cover with the umbrella become invisible to things or people that might cause them harm. It is infinitely adjustable for size. So you might want to cover your house so that it is invisible to a burglar, or your car so that it does not attract a car thief. You might want to put it over yourself at the airport so you do not attract the intrusive physical checking, or put it over a pet animal to keep it from harm. It could go over children, grandchildren as they go to school or travel. In small places such as elevators, aircraft, cellars, or claustrophobic areas, put the umbrella over yourself, intending for adequate space, air, light, and comfort. Another use for the umbrella is to put it over people who are in hospital so that they are protected from staff negativity and the worst case scenario that medical staff are trained to look for. The potential is unlimited. It would not protect you from the consequences of your actions, but you could put the umbrella over your car so you do not attract unwanted attention from desirables or other hazards. And so with this, once you do it once, then it's pretty easy to recreate. So I'm going to do the whole process. It's like 3 sentences. Because I think there's at least a few of you who have not. So the author is Ken Graydon, Graydon. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. So say after me, and if you can't say it out loud, say it in your head. I connect with Creator, the source of all healing. I accept blessings for all of creation. I take the umbrella of protection and I place it to provide protection against. And so for me, I often say negativity. And so to protect me from negativity on the outside of the umbrella. But then I also like to think about, what do I want on the inside of my umbrella? And oftentimes, if I'm wanting to protect myself against negativity, then I will do like peace, or even like peace of mind if I'm troubled about something. And so once you've used the umbrella of protection, you may instantly apply it in any situation by speaking out the words umbrella now. And so especially if you've sort of got your thing set up, or if you want to do like that invisibility, so think about how you want to do it. And so here's a little testimonial that he gives. So a farmer used the umbrella process over his farm during violent thunderstorms. His neighbors on either side had lightning strikes, which started fires. He only received much needed rain. So it's sort of a cool thing. This is a really good book. I used to use it pretty regularly in healing. And what I would do is I would muscle test what page number I was supposed to go to. And it worked pretty cool. So it's got a number of chapters. So there's personal preparation and processes, mind matters, well-being, specialized health matters, beyond the body. Ooh, this even has an abundance process. We might have to add that. And regeneration, healing in a practice. So yeah, it's got quite a few things in here, and whenever I've used any of his things, I've really enjoyed it. Plus, he's a super nice guy. Under my old Facebook account, he was a friend of mine. So I have not reached out to him just because I just haven't. But yeah, it's sort of a cool thing. So let's go ahead and do the healing pulse. And let's have you get your 7 pulses in your healing pulse baggie. And then we will say goodnight for tonight. Yes, it's a very good book. I'm looking to see what I missed. So Joanna, are you talking YouTube? Because I watch YouTube on my TV all the time. But the thing with that is you can't comment, though. The name of the book is Healing the Handbook. And it's maybe 240 pages. And this has been out a number of years, so you should be able to get it really affordably if you don't mind used. 2014. Yeah, so it's 7 years old. So you should be able to get like the paperback version really at a good price. Okay, so we are going to end our night with your 7 healing pulses. And I will let me just quick type his name. So it's Healing Handbook by Ken Graydon. Okay. And it even showed up on Facebook, so that's good. All right, so let's do our last healing pulse of the night. So, as always, rub your hands together until they're warm. I want you to activate that healing energy. And then place your hands where you want to receive the energy. If you don't really have a specific place, you can send it to your heart, send it to your head, or just send it to your body or your aura. Okay, so I'm starting to send now. So imagine that my hands are on your hands. So just breathe it in. Be open and allowing. Having the energy go exactly to where it needs to go. Okay, so that was our third healing pulse of the night. Or you could do it might even be the fifth if we count the ones with the brain balancing and the aura protection, but that's okay. So I hope everybody's had a good night. And as always, I'm hoping that you feel better after being here, whether it be we eased your pain, your issue, or you just enjoyed the sense of community here. And I always like to share things that you could possibly potentially use and learn from. So, very good session. I know there's been a few times where I sign off and it's crickets, and I know it's because half of you have fallen asleep. So, oh, there we go. Joanne's yawning already. So that is a good sign. So again, abundance people, you can check out your videos, and I will do another one on Sunday. You are very welcome, Anne-Marie. Thank you. Thank you. Lots of cool things. Oh, Jane, probably summer just because, but I'll respond to Christine. I think it confuses the new people wondering, what is she talking about? I'm glad you were here, Lisa. Hockey? Oh, Joan, have a good time. Oh, Jane, you're funny. All right, well, I'm out of here. Have a fabulous evening. Good night.